So if I was talking about a particular subject and I had like a top 25 list of, let's say, my top 25 favorite movies of all time, and uh, I start with number 25. Number 25. Fred with the other Fred. I gotta get, hold on. Get out my list. See how it picks up on the Scooby-Doo. Whoa. Here's my top 25 favorite movies of all time. Starting at 25. The Fog, a John Carpenter classic with a terrific cast. Adrienne Barbeau, a horror movie that is set in modern day with a prophecy that comes true, hidden in the fog. John Carpenter, of course, is a master of suspense. My daughter and I just saw Escape from New York in the theater. I wanted to see it on the big screen. She loved it. John Carpenter does a lot of the music for his films as well. But 25, The Fog, I highly recommend. Number 24, Little Big Man, starring Dustin Hoffman. Terrific cast. Again, one of the big, what I call the big movies. The big sky, the big screen, the big everything. The Panavision, the widescreen, the acting, the costuming. It's about a young man who he and his sister get caught up in the wagon days heading west and get captured by Native Americans and what ensues afterwards. It comes from him speaking about it as an old man. Little Big Man. That was his name given to him. By the Native American chief. I won't give too much away, but highly recommend at 24. 23, Step Brothers, a comedy, fantastic film, recent. Most people have seen it. Starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Terrific, excellent. Mary Steenburgen. Hilarious. Just, I mean, it made my list. I mean, it had to be good, right? There's the cat. What you doing? What you doing? Excellent comedy. If you just want to laugh out loud for 90 minutes, I highly recommend. Not the funniest movie I've ever seen, but just maybe because it was set in modern day, I don't know. I mean, My Man Godfrey from the 30s is, or Johnny Stecchino from the 80s, I two movies I found more hilarious, but something about maybe Riley and Farrell, their teaming up. Excellent duo. Highly recommend. Check it out at 23. Coming in at 22, Donnie Brasco, gangster movie starring Johnny Depp and Al Pacino. Donnie Brasco was a man who worked, well, that was his inside name, in the mafia as an outsider, working on the inside to get the guys, as it were. True story, excellent directing, terrific story. Just, I mean, sad, scary, real, but it made my list at 22. I highly recommend. And the opening sequence, the title sequence, is very good. The photo montage. Coming in at 21, Fargo. Most people have seen it. Just what more can I say about it? I just found it mesmerizing. I've watched it recently, probably for the 10th time. Yeah, that's fair to say. Maybe 5 times. But holds up every time. Excellent cast. Steve Buscemi, many others. He probably stood out the most for me. At 21, 20, Saturday Night Fever. Believe it or not, I saw that with my father when I was about 10 years old. It blew me away then. It still blows me away. Just John Travolta's, everything about it. Just terrific. If you haven't seen it, Saturday Night Fever. Of course, the soundtrack is unbelievable as well. Try and check that out if you haven't. The Bee Gees wrote a lot of the music. A group, Tavares, I believe, is on the album from New Bedford. I lived in New Bedford for some time. I believe they're from New Bedford, but there is some connection there, I believe. Anyway, excellent movie. Made my list at 20. 19, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Something recently I discovered, the DVD version is different than the Blu-ray version. The Blu-ray version, some of it was not included. Some of the more intense emotional scenes with Richard Dreyfuss. Unless I was doing something wrong with the Blu-ray, I don't know, but the DVD was straight up the whole thing. Maybe they, who made those decisions, felt the emotional parts weren't needed in the Blu-ray, but I felt that it took away from his motivation in the end when he, well, I won't give it away, but Close Encounters of the Third Kind, one of my favorite beginnings of any movie. If you're into, ranking, the beginning of movies, that's one of my favorite beginnings of any movie I've ever seen. Very memorable. Creepy. The Shining is another opening sequence. I should make a list of my favorite beginnings of movies. That's number 19. Number 18, Yellow Submarine, animated movie. Still holds up. Made in the 60s? Late 60s? After 64, obviously. Fantastic. Just tremendous. Art, story, music, obviously. The dialogue's very funny. Keeping up with the Beatles themselves being very funny. Highly recommend at 18, Yellow Submarine. Number 17, Casablanca. Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, Beautiful film, Peter Lorre, very dramatic, very made in the 40s, very film noir, which is sort of a mood that can be set in a film with dark shadows, black and whites and black and white. Woody Allen did with Shadows and Fog, made much later. Film noir. Beautiful film, Casablanca. Famous lines, play it again, Sam. Never make plans that far ahead. We'll always have Paris. It's starting out to be what looks like a beautiful friendship. Just a great film, great story, great ending. Very dramatic. Highly recommend it. At 17, Casablanca. 16, Simon of the Desert. A film that was made in the 60s, I think early 60s, late 50s. Tremendous short film. It was supposed to be part of a longer film that I believe was never made. I forget who the second director, maybe Kurosawa was involved too. Is it directed by a man I can't remember, or was it? It was, oh yeah, Louis Buñuel. Tremendous film. Short, only an hour, but I was introduced to it in film class in college some years back. And excellent, highly recommended. Just the vision of the director, the script person who puts the story together, and the ideas of what it might be like to live in a modern society and dream of being someplace else. I don't want to give away too much else, but that's highly recommended. Simon of the Desert. 16. 15, The Seven Samurai of Kurosawa. Most people have seen it, or heard of it, or seen scenes, or learned of it. Tremendous film about a group of farmers who needed to be protected and hired samurai. Well, couldn't really hire them, but got samurai to protect them. Magnificent Seven, made later on, starring Yul Brynner, was based on the Seven Samurai. If you ever get a chance, listen to the commentary that on the DVD, if you can get your hands on it. The commentary for Seven Samurai is really interesting as well. You know, you watch the movie and you listen to the commentary. Fascinating. Just some of the stuff that they point out. People who were involved. 14, Jaws. I saw that as a kid down at my parents' cottage at Crescent Beach in Mattapoisett. Didn't know it at the time, but that was actually the last place off, about 100 yards off of there, where the last great white shark attack in New England was in 1936, because it was before the 38 hurricane. Off Strawberry Beach, Hollywood Beach, off of Hollywood Beach. A kid said he was going to swim to the marina, which you can see from Crescent Beach, and from a boat that him and some friends were rowing in. Jumped out, swam, and a shark got him. Great white. But I had seen the movie in the drive-in many, many years later as a young kid. I didn't know that story, and was summering down there, and it was a double bill at the drive-in. It was Grease and Jaws. So I was, made happy and then terrified. Anyway, it was worth it. I would never trade those times. I'm sure a lot of people were terrified to go swimming afterwards. I still am to this day, but fascinated by sharks, probably because of that movie and the book written by Peter Benchley, which I've also read. Short book, so if you want a short book, that's also very good. I wouldn't say it's different from the movie, but it's different from the movie. It's just a different kind of story. Still very, 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 very good. But very, very similar to, just told differently, and I don't know, in a different way, but very good read. A short read, but very good. A lot of it's based on like shark attacks that happened in New Jersey years ago. Um, but yeah, at 14, Jaws. 13, Sunflowers with Sophia Loren. It's a foreign movie, very good, very worth your while if you're a Sophia Loren fan. It's about her being in war-torn Italy after and during Second World War. Highly recommended. It made my list because it's just so good. It's just a wonderful movie. Sunflowers with Sophia Loren. The Shining at 12. Of course, The Shining probably makes most people's top 25 favorite movies of all time. My daughter and I went to go see The Shining on the screen recently. That's been a thing with me, and I've had my daughter and I, because she's wicked into it too. Saw The Shining in 35 millimeter film. It was amazing. I get verklempt when I speak of The Shining. It's just terrific. It's just such a good movie. I read the book. If you want a different, I don't want to say better, but different and more enhanced experience of The Shining, read the book. The original source. It's long. It's like over 300 pages, maybe 4, maybe 5. It was a long, long, long book. But I got through the whole thing, and it was well worth it. Just, he's such a terrific writer. And of course, Stanley Kubrick is such a terrific director. I go on and on about The Shining, but maybe I should make a movie about The Shining. I love it so much. That's number 12. Number 11, Gandhi. If you like epics, watch Gandhi, the story of Gandhi, the life of Gandhi. It's so long it has an intermission. I saw it with my mother at a young age. Terrific, unbelievable movie. Incredible. Incredible movie. Just terrific film. Trying to remember the actor's name. He's slipping my mind right now. But just a terrific film. The Life of Gandhi. It's called Gandhi, but it's just terrific at 11. Number 10, Amadeus. Most people have seen that. Of course, about the life of Wolfgang Amadeus. Terrific film. Everything about it. I think, well, there are certain movies I feel every scene is perfect. I think that's every scene. I think every scene in that film is perfect. Of course, the main actor, if you've seen Animal House, he's from Animal House. I'm sure at the time he surprised me, but I'm sure at the time he surprised a lot of people with that performance as Amadeus. Just, oh, magnifique, just terrific. Vienna. I want to go to Vienna. Hunters in the Snow. My Bruegel painting is in Vienna. Terrific film. At number 10 now, number 9, Born in Flames by a director named Lizzie Borden. It was made in the 1980s in New York City. It's about an apocalyptic future, and it was just unbelievable. When I saw it maybe a year ago, I was transformed to another place, which few films in my life have done that. This one recently, and I so highly recommend it. It was just so raw. The story was so clever. It was so smart, well written, just beautifully made. Just, it's nice to see independent films. And I hate to use that term, independent, because it's as much of a film as anything is a film. Lizzie Borden is her name. Of course, famous name to have. But film director made this film called Born in Flames in the 1980s, and it's set in the future. But it's as relevant, the story is as relevant then as it is today. It's an incredible film. Number 9. Number 8, Lady Snowblood. Lady Snowblood, Part 1 and 2. a samurai, well, not a samurai film, but a kung fu film, for lack of a better term, starring a woman who was trained as a kung fu expert to become, I don't want to give away too much, an Asura demon, someone who would take revenge uh, on someone for someone else. I don't want to give away too much. But loosely, or not loosely, is what I've heard, Tarantino based some of his Kill Bill stuff on Lady Snowblood, part 1 and 2. When you see, and if you see it, Lady Snowblood, there's a part 1 and a part 2, you'll see what I mean. Terrific. I could never say too much about Lady Snowblood. It's just so good. I just want to share this film with people. It's terrific. If you like kung fu films, incredible. Lady Snowblood, part 1 and 2, both of them. Either one, really. I mean, you could watch the second one. I think I actually, when I first watched it, I watched the second part before the first part by accident. But they were still just as good. I watched them over and over. Number 7, Valerie's Week of Wonders. This is a film I discovered recently. It's from the recent Czechoslovakian New Wave within the last 30 years or so, maybe 40. Film movement, the Czech New Wave. Loosely, it's about a young girl who's discovering the world through dreams, vampires, oddities. When I first saw it, I think my mind actually changed. I think the chemicals in my mind actually changed. It was so unbelievably good. Just everything about it. It was like how a good fairy tale hit me when I was a child, hearing it for the first time. It like changes your brain. I highly recommend it. I want to see it on the silver screen so bad. Valerie's Week of Wonders. Incredible. Persona by Ingmar Bergman, probably on a lot of people's lists. Probably because it can't be said enough about it. Persona, director Ingmar Bergman, can't be said enough about him. But Persona is just so mesmerizing. Good. Everything groundbreaking filmmaking is. If you're into films, things that Bergman does, that's so satisfying and so unique. Persona. The beginning's a little slow, so just to warn you, but well worth it. 5, Koyaanisqatsi. I think I pronounced that right. Probably not. Koyaanisqatsi. You might have to find it a little bit by spelling it out. That's what I had to see. That's what I had to do. I saw it as a young man with my mother. I see a lot of movies with my parents. And it was so unique and groundbreaking. Nothing I'd ever seen. You know, it was basically showing the progression of time and how we live on the earth. I mean, I don't know what else I can say. I mean, I could probably say a lot. I don't want to say too much, but it was done in film. And I don't think there was any dialogue. Terrific filmmaking. Number 5. Number 4, Donkey Skin, a movie I had seen recently and was just blown away. It's a French film. I don't know if it's based on an actual fairy tale, but it's told like a fairy tale. Starring Catherine Deneuve. I hope I said that right. incredible. It influenced so many directors afterwards that it's probably ridiculous to even talk about it. But please see it if you want to be blown away by everything, the dialogue, the set, the actors, the acting. Donkey Skin. I don't remember its French name, but terrific at number 4. Number 3, Koroneko, The Black Cat. It's a Japanese horror film. I don't have to tell most people how about scary Japanese horror films are, but they're very, very scary. Yes. Yes, they're very, very scary. And this one is so scary it made number 3 on my list. Koroneko, The Black Cat. Number 2, Powers of 10. It was a movie made for IBM in the 1950s, I believe. And it shows distance. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but it shows the power of distance using the powers of 10, you know, like 10 times 10 with the 10 over it, you know, power. So if you go, let's say 2 to the 10th power, you go 2 times 2, which is 4, 4 times 2, which is 8, 8 times, or is it? Yeah. No, it's the numbers. 2 times 2, which is 4, 4, yeah, 4 times 4, which is 16, 16 times 16. Do I have that right? 3. So 3, yeah. No, it's 2 so many times. So it's, so because 3 to the power of 3 is 3 times 3 times 3. So it's 2 10 times. So it's 2 times 2, which is 4, 4 times 2, which is 8, 8 times 2, which is 16, 16 times 2, which is 32, 32 times 2, which is 64. So if you do that with distance, you do like, you know, for every 10 seconds, you'll do another power traveling at the speed of 10,000 miles an hour. And it goes into you, and then it goes out into space. And it's a movie showing all of this. I know I probably flubbed up the explanation. But maybe I got it right. I don't know. But it's called The Powers of 10. It was made for IBM, and I saw it in college. And it just blew me away. It's remained with me ever since. It's very worth seeing. It's only like 14 minutes long or something. And then number 1, Seventh Seal by Ingmar Bergman. I know it's on the top of a lot of people's lists, so it might be a little boring as number 1. But for me and for many others, it was so profound to see that a movie could be like that. And this is from a list of 100 films, by the way. So this is just the top 25. So I do have other things like, you know, that most people would probably agree with or recognize right away. But The Seventh Seal might be on a lot of people's list as number 1. But it's on my list as number 1 because it just meant so much to me. When I was discovering foreign films and films in general many years ago. And it's everything a movie that is great and profound and transformative, like great art can be. The Seventh Seal, number 1. Some honorable mentions for now from this group of 100. Barfly, Mickey Rourke. You've ever seen that? Rocky, Prom Night, which is a great horror film, which is not necessarily overlooked, but I think underrated. Prom Night. Yeah, as a horror film, just great. I know it's a slasher film, but it's just the way it was done. Fun, a little campy, but of a top 100 list, I included Prom Night. Pink Floyd, The Wall, the movie, incredible animation and music, and School of Rock, starring Jack Black. All right, that's all for now. That's the top 25 favorite movies of all time. Until next time, this is Justin aka Uncle Krusty. All right, peace out. Be safe.